Welcome into the Sports Plus podcast. I'm Corey Miller here with Frank Cusumano and Andy Mohler, and it is a big day in St. Louis. We're recording this on Monday. Albert Pujols is officially a Cardinal once again. How long has it been now? 11 years after he left for the Los Angeles Angels, Albert is back on a one-year deal for 2022, which he has said is going to be his last. Now, this is not something that everybody thought was going to happen. I mean, there was a lot of will to wanting it to happen, but it didn't always look like a fit. Frank, last night news broke, and today it became official. Are you pretty surprised still that Albert Pujols is going to be back wearing the birds on the bat?
Yeah, I would have really been surprised if it happened last week. But as we've talked about on the television side, the perfect storm started to develop. Albert went more days without a job. The Cardinals went more days without production from their DH candidates. And then you throw in the fact that there is a DH. I mean, it really was the perfect storm for Albert to be a Cardinal.
He said all the right things today. Everybody was in a good mood. Andy, is there there's a lot of people online, at least, that are not fully happy about this, which I have a lot to say to them because I think this is a happy day. But is there a part of you that thinks, you know what, this just doesn't make any sense? And you know what, nostalgia be darned, this is silly.
Well, I'd be, I would not, how do I put this? I would not be fully honest if I said that this didn't have anything to do with selling some tickets for a team that may be concerned about it because of the lockout. But there is the possibility that this could go south in a big hurry if Albert comes in and he, goes 0 for his first 20 or something like that. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think he's going to be put in limited spots. They're going to know how to use him best. And by all accounts, last year he ripped left-handed pitching. So if you can get him in the right spots, I think he can do nothing but help. And he'll provide leadership, and I think he's going with the program that he doesn't need to be a full-time starter. He doesn't need to be out there all the time, and he really wants to try to go out a winner. And I think obviously this is his best chance to do it.
21 homers from joining the 700 home run club. I get the vibe if that really was the most important thing, he wouldn't be here in St. Louis. Frank, is that what you get too?
Yeah, look, I don't think he'd be playing if he was at 700 home runs right now. So his thirst has not been completely quenched yet, and I think it will be, getting one final crack. I don't think he'd hang on, but who knows if he hits 18, he's 300 away. Who knows? But my gut feeling is that he's back for 700, and it's just an unbelievable story when you think about it. I mean, to come back where your star started to grow, that's pretty special.
But 21, you think he can get that here in St. Louis? He could have got – I know there were some other offers out there probably eventually that somebody would have signed him to DH on a lower market team that wasn't going anywhere to hit 21 home runs where he could have done it. He might not get the at-bats here.
Yeah, I don't know if any team was out there that was going to give him a lot more at-bats because, let's face it, he only hits lefties now. But I just know that we just can't bet against the guy. I mean, we've done this our whole career. I mean, people do that with Albert all the time, and then he proves everybody wrong. The odds are against it, but I certainly wouldn't bet against him.
Andy, you got the good storyline now. We already had Molina and Wainwright, although Wainwright won't commit to anything being his last year, and he shouldn't with how good he's been. But this is Yachty's last year, and now Albert says it's his last year too. So it's an even better kind of story for these three to go out. They're three of the 6 oldest players in baseball right now, and they're all going to get to end their careers together. That's pretty neat.
It's going to be a pretty huge cake at the end of the season to celebrate their goodbyes, but what a party it will be. And it'll be even better if they can somehow get into the postseason. That's for sure. But yeah, this is all about the feel-good moment and riding this season on the nostalgia train.
And if Yachty and Albert do retire at the end of this year, that means they can both be first ballot Hall of Famers together, which knowing Albert and Yachty, I think they've probably talked about before. So that could be cool as well.
Yes.
I wonder if Yachty is a first ballot Hall of Famer. He may be, but I'm not so certain he is.
I think it's going to be on the line, but I don't know if there's that much going with him and these two like want to go in together. I think that might get him a couple more votes. It's going to be close though, for sure. I wonder if Albert will be unanimous or if there's going to be, those people that don't vote for him. That'll be an interesting wrinkle as well.
That they'll look at those Angels years and say, yeah, maybe not, but yeah.
I just wonder about the statue because before this day, he was for sure getting a smaller statue at Busch. But what if the scenario happens where he gets the 700 and he leads the Cardinals to another great season?
That's an interesting wrinkle as well because he brought it up today. He can't do anything about what happened 11 years ago when he did leave, and people were just so upset with him. And it seems like time has mended all wounds, and everybody loves him again. So he could be back in line for a little bigger honor outside Busch Stadium than we might have thought he was going to get. So that's interesting as well.
12 years ago before he left, you probably would have needed to, make sure that Pujols statue was at least as tall as the Musial statue out there. I think Frank kind of brought this up today. That they were certainly on a parallel. Now, I think he belongs in the, Monument Park there with all the greats. But he's going to have to be recognized somehow for at least those first 10 years when he was just incredible.
They're running out of room there. Here's what I would do. I'd put him and Yachty at home plate area and start a new little section because they're running out of room there. They had to put Ted Simmons down the sidewalk to get his statue there. So they're running out of room. They got to find a new place. And they're going to have a couple more guys. Scott Rowland could get in the Hall of Fame here soon, too, and get his own statue. So,
Andy,
go ahead.
Andy actually had a great suggestion for the Wainwright Molina thing. Go ahead.
I just think that maybe they'll try to think of considering space, and maybe you give them a statue together, maybe in the pose of the hug after the 2006 World Series or something like that. But either that, or they're going to have to tear down the park, tear down the stadium to make room for the statues.
Either way, the Cardinals are going to be spending a lot on bronze in the coming years. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
That will do it for this episode of the Sports Plus podcast, focusing on Albert Pujols' return to St. Louis. Be sure to download, subscribe wherever you get your podcast, as well as rate and review. Have a great week, everybody.